Just saw Enola Holmes, brand new movie on Netflix. It's got some pretty big name actors inside this movie, and it's pretty much trending on Netflix right now. So you've probably heard about this movie at this point, and I'm not gonna mess around too much. I'm just gonna dive right into the stuff I liked and I didn't like, and my overall thoughts. Okay, so a few things that I did like about this movie. One, it has a very quirky, frantic kind of aesthetic and direction, like the way it's edited. It feels like a Guy Ritchie movie. I really like that. I like that it's kind of crazy. It's a bit overbearing at first. You might think it's overbearing, but you kind of ease into it, and that kind of style does mellow out towards the middle half of this movie, which I really like. It feels like you're maturing along with the characters, the way the editing and the style kind of mellows out. I like that. It's a nice touch to this movie. Another thing I really did like, outside the aesthetic and the editing, is the characters. Enola Holmes is pretty likable. I did like a character. I mean, a character like this needs to be right, and in the wrong hands, it just comes off as pretentious, annoying. But I think Millie Bobbie Brown does a really good job straddling those lines, walking those lines, and she's a really good character that you actually care for. I mean, she can do some stuff that's a bit okay. You have to take some leaps in logic that she can come to that conclusion, or she can do that. I mean, yeah, it is explained that she's trained all her life, but still, she's a great character. I think she's a character that you want to root for. She's likable, even though she's a bit of an asshole, but in that kind of charming, cheeky kind of way, and I really did enjoy her performance in this movie. Another great performance, there's a dog barking outside over there right now, I hope that doesn't get too much into the video, is Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's Sherlock is fun to watch, and I really like the interactions he has with Enola. I like the scenes of that. Those are my favorite scenes in the movie, the brother and sister dynamic. Really sweet, really touching, really a lot of heart in this movie out of Sherlock, which is surprising because he's usually an emotionless beast if you know the character of Sherlock Holmes in general. But I think Cavill does a really good job as Sherlock Holmes. He has this kind of gentle giant kind of vibe to him, and he's really an interesting character. I would really like to pick away at his character in another movie, but yeah, this isn't his movie, it's Enola Holmes movie. But it's great to see the dynamic between the brother and sister. He's just a great addition to this movie. Yeah, that's about it. And that, for things I like, I mean, it's just a charming, fun little mystery adventure movie, and it works for the most part. I was entertained and intrigued, and there was a part of this movie you think it's predictable. You think the movie is gonna go down this path, but then it just changes gears all of a sudden, and I was taken back. I'm not trying to spoil it here, but the movie is a little bit predictable, and it did change gears halfway through the movie. I mean, still going down the same predictable path, it just changed gears, and I really did appreciate that kind of tonal change. But it still got to the same predictable end that I thought knew was coming. So, you know. And I guess that leads me into the things I didn't really like about this movie. Where to start though? Okay, for one, I'm gonna start with something a bit touchy, which is this movie has a very, very strong agenda behind it. This is a very female empowerment focused movie. Fine. I mean, messages like these political messages, these empowerment, I don't know how to say this, but in the wrong hands, it could just be really bad. And in this movie, it does do a good job for the most part, fleshing out these messages, these themes, and what it's trying to tell about empowerment. But for the times that it does work, there's another few more times where it doesn't. There's like some plot lines in this movie that just seem to go nowhere, and I just lead to dead ends, and I didn't really care for that message all that much. It is an important message to have, but I just don't think it was handled as well as it could have. But then again, I'm not really the target audience for this movie, so I might be a bit indifferent to the message overall, but I think it is a good thing that the movie is trying to tell this message. It is important. I just wish it was handled a bit better. Still didn't really take me too much out of the movie. I still had a great time enjoying it. Bigger problems I have the movie. Some of the characters in this just do not work. So, Mycroft Holmes is one of the worst characters I have seen in a movie all year. He's just annoying, bratty, and he's just there to push an agenda, and I just did not like his character. He's so cringy and terrible. I mean, the actor, whatever, he does a good job for the most part, but I just did not give two shits about his character. They didn't grow his character. They didn't make him anything more than just a joke, and I hated it so much. Any scene with him was just a chore, in my opinion. But I guess, and yeah, the mystery element. Okay, I did talk about that for a bit. Like, it's predictable, and it's predictable because like the movie just spoon feeds you all the information. I thought this would be like a fun mystery movie where, yeah, there's a nice mystery to unpick at, but it just gives you information, just spoon feeds you, and it just jumps to conclusions so quickly. And there's so many, I know a lot of coincidences, but there are coincidences there that you just feel like, this isn't really as fun a mystery movie as I thought it would be. There's not much suspense, but then again, it's not really a big brain mystery. It's more a character journey for Enola Holmes. So I'm willing to forgive the movie for not being the greatest mystery of all time, you know. But this one was just a fun, quirky, interesting little movie, and I did have fun with it. I think there's a little bit for everyone in this movie. I mean, it is a movie that I did watch with my family, and they did enjoy it, and I also enjoyed it. So I might have not enjoyed every single bit of it, but it's still a relatively enjoyable movie. And I know I'm not the target audience for this, so there you go. So overall, I think Enola Holmes is a fun movie to watch if you got nothing better to do. It's a fun movie to play on the weekend. Sit down with your family and watch it. It's a good fun time while it lasts, but I don't think it's going to stick around much longer than that. I would say Enola Holmes is certainly worth watching if you're a 16-year-old girl or have nothing better to do. It's fine, just not great, and I feel like I've said this and given this rating to so many movies this year already, but it just seems to be that way. Oscar bait season is near, and I do hope that we get some really nice Oscar bait movies, but until then, thank you so much for watching. I'm just gonna go eat something right now because I'm really hungry.